Good morning, friends. Every day is a fight for energy out here in this weather. Really great thing about Georgia is that this is only going to last a couple days, a couple months max. Good morning. You'll be all right. You don't have to knock that out.
Huh?
You don't have to knock that away.
Well, with some ice.
Yeah, that won't stop you, that truck.
Yeah, I don't like to slide a little bit.
Yeah, you're not going to slide. Not even a little bit.
Okay.
You're good.
How do you have yours?
How do I have my
Oh,
what?
okay. Because I put mine on my camera. You're
Oh, I'm filming.
okay.
I'm videoing myself.
Okay, gotcha.
But you're good. I saw you. That little bit of ice ain't fixing to hurt that truck at all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyway, good morning, my good friends. I'm walking my animal, and I have a short amount of time with you this morning because I actually have a meeting in about 13 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe something like that. So, guess I get to get straight to the point for once. So I get this email this morning. Dear Black Dragon, the club is falling apart. Actually, I got this email a long time ago, but I just saw it this morning. Dear Black Dragon, the motorcycle club is falling apart. The president seems to think it's okay to give away our patches. He's going for quantity, not quality. He feels the more members he has in seats, the better off the MC will be. Therefore, we have stopped prospecting for the most part. We are giving away patches. So you have the blind leading the blind. Also, the president seems to think that rules can be relaxed to the point that nothing is accomplished in meetings. We just sit around and have a big hug fest, drunk fest, hang out fest. No business gets accounted for. The club's money is coming up missing. Officer positions are not being taken seriously. Responsibilities are not being fulfilled. And we are sitting around in groups arguing. Spending more time arguing than even riding motorcycles. We don't like each other anymore. All this is a breakdown in discipline, which folds into debauchery. As officers are sleeping with and fraternizing with the women in the club. Pillow talk is taking people's conversations and turning them into rumors. Straight out lies. And this pillow talk is causing folks that used to be friends to now be sworn bitter enemies. And the leadership takes no responsibility and no action to fix our situation. Instead, they keep bringing in more people without qualifications, sometimes without even a motorcycle. And they sit by while the situation worsens. The VP has taken quite a distinctive line. At night, in the evenings, when people get off work, the VP holds sidebars. And in these sidebars, he plans with other members the takeover of the MC. They sit around and talk about how unqualified the president is, but yet no one will confront him in a meeting. All it is talk, talk, talk behind his back. Except for when they feel like they have enough members to come forward in the coup and challenge him for the presidency. But the funny thing about it is, most of those folks have so little time in the MC world, they have absolutely not one damned idea of what they're doing. Them taking over the MC will be a further compilation of the blind leading the blind. They stab each other in the back and trade each other secrets. None of them can be trusted with one another. To add insult to injury, they call each other up on the phone while others in the club are listening, and then talk silently between themselves. After taking one member's trust, after taking the senior officer's trust, a junior officer is tape recording him on the phone so that other junior officers can sit and plan his demise. They fight amongst each other, the officers, in front of the junior members and prospects. And they fight in front of hang-arounds. And the other day they were fighting in front of other clubs. It gets even worse, Black Dragon. Someone in our club called the dominant to discuss with them our inter-club business and tell on our president. In one meeting, two members got so mad, they got up and they swung on each other. A third member pulled out a gun in the meeting. And I asked myself, as I consider turning in my patch, how far does it go? When does it stop? What in the hell is wrong with these people that used to call themselves brothers? I fear, Black Dragon, that my motorcycle club is going to split up. And I don't know where it went wrong. We used to hang out and we used to ride and we used to be friends. We started making money. The club started becoming very popular. Sometimes we were making more money than most people would see in their personal businesses. And that's when the money started becoming increasingly less accounted for. Excuses started to take place of financial accounting. One member recently asked to see the books, and he was set upon. actually beaten up. He called the president a thief. The president broke his jaw. Where has it gone wrong, Black Dragon? Is it when we started just taking in prospects? And turning them into patch members after only hanging around the club and being with the club for 20 or 30 days? Or was it the money that we started making? Or was it the greed of the president? Or his inner cabinet? I don't know what's going wrong here. And I don't know how to turn it around. And I won't say our club name, and I hate that I've told you so much of our club business. But I love my motorcycle club. I have given my all to it. And I'm in tears as I write this. Even I was threatened. And I will kill somebody. Dear Black Dragon, what has gone wrong? Well, my friend, thank you for watching my channel. And I certainly appreciate your situation. Believe it or not, I've seen many similar things throughout my nearly 30 years on the motorcycle set. And I can tell you that it would probably be easy to make a list as to the 10 great reasons why motorcycle clubs split up. But the list would be inadequate because there are a lot of reasons why motorcycle clubs split up. But we can break it down into categories. The first category would be communication. Motorcycle clubs, like any other organization, must have strong communications. Communication is the bedrock of agreement and understanding. If we're going to communicate, we must speak the same language. We must speak a language where we accept certain truths to be self-evident. For instance, if we were going to talk about the atmosphere, we would have to first of all agree that if we're going to talk about the sky, what is the sky? It's not the forest, although some people might want to call it that. Well, if you want to call the sky the forest and I want to call the sky the mountains, and he wants to call the sky, we have no basis for communication. So now that we've all agreed that the sky is up there, the next thing we have to agree is what's a fair sky? And if you think it's purple and I think it's yellow, and he thinks it's red, and someone else thinks it's blue, we don't have a communication scheme by which we can all communicate and get to a standard. So we've got to all agree on what color it is. So communication is more than just two people talking at one another. Communication is an understanding of the language that we're speaking, and that's where MC protocol becomes so vital. MC protocol allows dominant males and A-type personalities to hang out together because we have agreed there is a certain standard of conduct, and this standard of conduct is what will be accepted, and we find that is good. Number two, then, being that motorcycle clubs split because there is a decision by more than one person, by a group of people, maybe by one person that we're not going to follow the bylaws. That one person is often the president. And the president can't make that decision without the agreement of his senior staff. So when the president and the senior staff agree that it's okay to push away the bylaws and the protocol by which we operate, then we can get started down a slippery slope. Oftentimes it starts with the meetings. The bylaws will say we must have 2 meetings a month. They must be on the 1st and on the 20th. The slope starts when folks say, well, maybe we only need to meet once a month. The bylaws will say we need to cover these things in the bylaws. Old news, old business, new business, finances, motions to order. Well, we don't need a financial report this time. Well, they start paring away little by little at the rights and responsibilities. The club begins to slip. And when the club begins to slip, the club begins to split. The next one, number 3, is greed. We can never get away from greed. What turns people is the almighty dollar. I've often seen great clubs start to perish when they start making big money. And also the greed of preferential treatment. It's good to be the king. You see it when a president says, well, we're going to suspend the elections this year. That must be enabled by enablers. So then, number 4, greed leads often to theft. And when you see things in the motorcycle club start to disappear and nobody take responsibility, the next thing you'll see is chaos and the club begins to split. Number 5, oftentimes there is a relaxation of the rules to get in the club. This relaxation could be for many reasons. We're at war and we need to take people in and we need them now. We need to buff these numbers up and build them up. We got to get down. Or we got low numbers and we need to pick up the numbers. We can barely afford to pay the club rent. That guy didn't have a motorcycle, but he's got a pocket full of money. Let his ass in. Oftentimes when you relax the rules one time, you have to relax them again and again and again and again. It's easier to relax the rules and not keep the standards up. 5, sometimes there's just hatred and jealousy. Jealousy in motorcycle clubs leads to club splits. A hatred, a vexation of the spirit, a vexation of the soul. People out on their own personal agendas, and all they want to do is destroy. 6, the rumor mill. The rumor mill comes when people become afraid or they get their rights taken, and they're not able to adjust things in the meetings, address things in church. A lot of times a motorcycle club ain't having no church. So now they got to start talking between themselves, among one another. They stop looking each other in the face and talking eye to eye. They begin talking behind each other's backs and figuring out how to destroy one another. 7, the motorcycle club stops riding. You spend more time fighting in meetings than you spend riding, because riding is lovemaking. Every relationship must have some lovemaking. And riding motorcycles with the pack is like making love to a beautiful woman. You're happy all the time. The only thing that can screw it up is if your motorcycle ain't working. I did a video called Broken Shit Trip. And I invite you all to look at the video called Broken Shit Trip, because it's all about the Black Sabbath. and how we interact. It's just a video of us hanging out on a night that we went down to bless in a new chapter in Beaufort, South Carolina, and everybody's motorcycle broke. Oh my goodness. And guys were upset. Their wives were getting ready to tear their asses up. Nobody got home before 3 in the morning. And we just sat out all night. 200 miles away from home with a big ride ahead of you. You still got to ride. Maybe we're like 400 miles away from home. You still got to ride 4 or 5 hours to get home, even after the guys show up with the trailers to pick up the bikes. But during that trip where everything broke, and I have another video we call we're riding, rolling, and fixing. We were riding across the country, and every stop we pulled in to get gas, we had to lay underneath the bikes and put them together with bubble gum. Cable tie, plastic tie wraps. We were doing everything we could. Ride or Die threatened to shoot me because I was laughing at his Harley. You guys always on these Harleys break down all the time. He pointed to his gun. I said, "You gonna shoot me? If you say one more word about my Harley, it's over." Those times when we're on our motorcycles having a great time is when we build our relationships, even on a broken shit trip, even on a ride, stop and fix, ride, stop and fix. We're riding across the country. Ride or Die's bags fell off his motorcycle at 110 miles an hour. And we had to walk down the street for 2 miles picking up his belongings. Boy, what a blast. You people stop riding and you stop having fun. And you start hating and getting in groups to destroy one another. 8. You lose your honor. Motorcycle clubs are about honor. If you are honorable, you cannot hurt a brother. You cannot stab him in the back. You cannot fight him for weeks and weeks and months and years on end. If you have honor, you must find a way. You must discover a way. You must fight for a way to get along with your brother, even when times are bad. And when we lose honor, number 9, we become venomous, and we begin to pick up we lose loyalty. When you lose honor, you'll lose loyalty. My mother used to say, "I hate a liar, because if you'll lie, you'll cheat, and if you cheat, you'll steal." So when you lose your honor, you lose your loyalty. And that's when we see people calling out of our motorcycle clubs, trying to tell on the president and this kind of crap. But he lost loyalty and honor too. You gotta have loyalty. Motorcycle clubs split because someone loses the loyalty. You sleep with someone's wife. That's dishonorable, and there's no loyalty. And when you have no loyalty, you have no brotherhood. There is no brotherhood without loyalty. I've got to be able to trust your ass. And if you ain't worth a shit, you aren't my brother. And if you would sleep with my woman, or steal my money, or trample on my rights as a member, or take away my vote, or silence my objections, you are dishonorable, disloyal. There is no trust, and there is no brotherhood. And 10, when you've lost the loyalty and you've lost the honor, you lose the desire to want to do it anymore. And that's how you destroy your MC. I'm Black Dragon. I appreciate you for tuning in. Have a productive day. get skinny.